Hello all. So previously we have discussed section 11 and section 12 of specific performance of contracts where in Specific Relief Act 1963. So now we are going to discuss section 13 and section 14 of Specific Relief Act 1963 where chapter 2 specific performance of contracts. Okay, now what section 13 speaks about? Rights of a purchaser or lessee, rights of a purchaser or lessee against the person who has an imperfect title. So the person, I mean the transferor, has an imperfect title. So what all the rights does the purchaser will have? Okay, so the vendor has an imperfect title. What all the rights the vendee will have? Okay, you understood the concept. We will discuss for first point. Wherever a person contracts to sell or let means lease, okay, certain property, certain immovable property having no title or only an imperfect title, the purchaser or lessee has the following rights. Okay, now the first point. So if the vendor or lessor has subsequently got the right of the property, has subsequently, I mean after the contract he got the right of the property which he made contract, then the lessee can compel him to perform the contract. Okay, this is the A, I mean in section 13A part, which is one of the right. Okay, the second right which the lessee will get, I mean vendee will get, is if there is any concurrence of other persons to for the convenience of the contract, then also the lessee will compel the lessor, I mean vendor, to take the convenience from the persons, the other persons which have incurred a right in the contract. Okay, so the third right which the lessee will have is when the vendor possess to sell unencumbered property which is free from any of the things like mortgage on something. Okay, it is free if the property has some mortgage on it. Okay, then also the and the mortgage amount should be lesser than the sale amount. Okay, then also the lessee will compel the vendor, I mean the lessor, to take the property, to redeem the mortgage and to obtain valid discharge whenever necessary, and also convenience from the mortgagee. They also take the convenience from the mortgagee. Okay, this is third point, and we are going to the fourth point which is somewhat tricky. Okay, so in fourth point it is like when the vendor or lessor sues for specific performance of a contract and the suit is dismissed on the ground that of his want of title or imperfect title. Now here what happened is the vendor only is suing the vendee for not performance of the title. He is asking the vendee to perform the title, I mean to perform the contract. Okay, but after in this suit the vendee has proved that the vendor has an imperfect title. So if the vendor has an imperfect title in the property, then the vendee need not perform the contract, and the vendee can also claim the damages, or he can also claim the lien period time, and he can also, if any advance is given by the lessee to the lessor, then he can also claim that amount, and he can claim compensation on that amount and any interest incurred from that amount. Okay, cost of interest also he can claim from that part. Okay, and the last part is in 13 only, subsection 2. He says that the provision of subsection 1 shall also apply as far as may be the contracts for the sale of hire of movable property. It will apply also to the movable property also. Okay, this is what section 13 says. Now we will move to section 14. Before going into section 14, let us again remember section 10. In section 10, if we see, according to the 2018 amendment, it has been made, the word may is instituted with the word shall. Any contract which is enforceable, which is proved, any contract which is proved should be enforceable. If any contract which is proved in court of law, it should be enforceable. There will be no damages or alternative relief for that. It should be enforceable. But except subsection 2 of section 11, section 14 and section 16, except these provisions which are mentioned in these sections, any contract which is proved under law, it should be enforceable. So now we are studying section 14, where contracts not specifically enforceable. This is an exemption. There in section 10 they told that section 14 will be exemptable for the specific performance of a contract. Now we will see what are that section 14 exemption. I mean section 14 where there is not specifically enforceable. The provisions of the contract. Okay, the following contracts cannot be specifically enforced. Namely, there are 4. Where a party to the contract had obtained substituted performance of a contract in accordance with the provision of section 20. If under section 20, if a party has made a he has entered with a agent, or if a party entered with an if a party substituted an agent to performance of the contract, already an agent is doing your part. So if the agent did his part and the contract has been enforced, again you cannot go and again ask for the specific performance of the contract. Okay, that is first part. And the second part is a contract. This a contract, the performance of which involves the performance of a continuous duty which the court cannot survive. So in that cases of contracts where the court should continuously intervene into the contract, then also it cannot be specifically performed, and alternative relief will be in the damage. Damage will be mentioned for that contract. Okay, and now we'll go into section 3, where it is like a contract which is so dependent on a personal qualifications of the parties, the court cannot enforce specific performance of its material terms. So if it is relating to personal qualifications of a party, then also the court cannot perform, cannot ask to specifically enforce the contract. It can give alternative damages. Okay, a contract which is naturally determinable means ascertaining. Okay, the contracts which can be naturally determinable, the parties can determine the contract, then also the court will not interfere in the, will not ask for a specific enforcement of contract, then it can give alternative reliefs. Okay, so this is what section 13 and section 14 of specific relief act. Thank you.